Deontay Wilder doesn't throw hands, he launches missiles. With 43 knockouts and 44 wins, his right hand has ended more careers than critics can count. This isn't just power, it's controlled destruction. Measured, sudden, inevitable. While most elite heavyweights spend years mastering this sweet science, Wilder mastered something far more dangerous, the art of erasure. He doesn't just outpoint you, he switches you off. And that's the difference. This isn't the usual thudding force of a heavyweight. It's a whip-crack explosion, a split-second detonation that turns world-class fighters into motionless silhouettes before they even realize what hit them. But the Bronze Bomber's power doesn't stay in the ring. In 2026, that same violent energy moves through Alabama in a fleet of custom Rolls-Royces and echoes through the walls of a multi-million-dollar fortress. Today, we step inside the $30 million empire of a man who bet everything on a single shot and made it count. Before we unpack the rise and the reign of Deontay Wilder, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. This isn't just boxing. This is the legend of the Bomber. To understand the violence of that right hand, you first have to understand the desperation of the man behind it. While most champions are bred in the gym from childhood, Wilder started as a man with bills to pay and a daughter to save. In 2005, at 20 years old, he welcomed his first daughter, Naoya, into the world. She was born with spina bifida, a condition that came with medical bills and the terrifying prospect that she might never walk. At that moment, boxing wasn't a passion, it was a rescue mission. He walked in his Sky boxing gym with no pedigree and zero technique. Just the crushing pressure of a father who refused to let his daughter down. Every time he hit the bag, he was calculating the cost of the next surgery. The gym wasn't a playground. It was an office where the only currency was pain. This no-fail mentality led to one of the most unconventional training regimens in history. While his peers were lifting heavy iron, Wilder was at the bottom of a pool. He famously utilized deep water training, sprinting across the floor while carrying heavy dumbbells to build a gas tank that didn't rely on bulky muscle. It gave him the movement of a cruiserweight and the speed of a whip. He also leaned into the mental game, utilizing deep meditation and visualization. Wilder often claimed he could see his knockouts weeks before the opening bell, vividly experiencing the impact and the rhythm of the referee's count while in a trance. This allowed him to stay eerily calm even when he was being outclassed, waiting with predatory patience for his vision to turn into reality. The transformation was terrifyingly fast. By 2007, he had already swept the U.S. National Championships. Within just 3 years of picking up a glove, he was on the podium at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, draped in bronze. They called him the Bronze Bomber, building a shadow all his own. He wasn't the only one with the itch to fight. Either his younger brother, Marcelo's Wilder, followed him into the pro ranks, turning the Wilder name into an Alabama boxing dynasty. He built a terrifying reputation with a 30-0 record, every single victory coming by way of knockout. By January 17, 2015, he defeated Bermane Stiverne to capture the WBC title. This was his arrival, a 12-round masterclass that proved he could box, move, and maintain his stamina, not just punch. But the true fear factor was cemented in the defenses that followed. Heavyweights didn't just train to beat Wilder, they trained to survive him. The Bronze Bomber didn't need complex combinations, he just needed a tiny opening. Once he touched you, the lights didn't just go out, they were ripped out of the wall. We saw it in his greatest hits. There was the one-round destruction of Dominic Breazeale, a single right hand that looked like a high-speed car crash. There was the devastating one-punch KO of Artur Szpilka that left the arena in a haunting, prayerful silence. And then there were the two wars with Luis King Kong Ortiz. In the rematch, Wilder was losing every single second of every round, until he landed a single straight right that effectively froze Ortiz in time. It was this terrifying equalizer that saw him consistently break into the pound-for-pound top 10 rankings. Ring Magazine and ESPN recognized that his power was the ultimate X factor. At his height, He was considered one of the 10 best fighters on the planet because he possessed the one thing no amount of technical training can simulate: pure, fight-ending divinity in his right hand. But every legend eventually meets their mirror, and for Wilder, that reflection was Tyson Fury. Their 2018 clash provided one of the most iconic moments in history. In the 12th round, Wilder detonated the right hand that should have ended the story. Fury hit the canvas, eyes rolled back, and the world held its breath. Then, in a moment that defied medical science, Fury rose from the canvas like the Undertaker. In that moment, Wilder didn't just lose a knockdown, he lost his myth. And once the myth is gone, the man has to fight. The losses that followed were the most transformative of his career. In 2020, Fury utilized a seek and destroy tactic, resulting in a grueling TKO loss for Wilder. Then came the 2021 trilogy, a blood-soaked epic where Wilder knocked Fury down twice before finally being stopped in the 11th. Recent setbacks against Joseph Parker and Zhilei Zhang further questioned whether the missile was still operational. Yet, even in defeat, his stock remained high. He earned more respect in defeat than many earn in a lifetime of safe victories. But power like that doesn't just change fights, it changes life. His empire outside of it has never been more secure. For Wilder, the losses were merely business transactions. He didn't just save his daughter. He built a world where she and her siblings would never want for anything. This isn't just a garage. It's a weapons vault for a man who knows what power feels like, housing a fleet valued at well over $5 million. The centerpiece is his Lamborghini Aventador SV Roadster, a $500,000 piece of Italian aggression wrapped in custom faux alligator skin with gold accents. Then comes the Rolls-Royce collection, the pinnacle of silent power. His Cullinan SUV is a black and gold fortress standing on 24-inch custom rims. For pure elegance, his Phantom features a starlight headliner, mirroring the Alabama night sky, while his Wraith Coupe combines 624 horsepower with a cabin of hand-stitched leather. When he wants to tap into raw muscle, he shifts gears. His Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat is a localized earthquake whose supercharger whine can be heard blocks away. And for pure presence, he rolls in a custom wide-body Hummer H2, a metallic beast sitting on oversized off-road tires. Every engine, every diamond, is a reminder that when Wilder lands, he doesn't just win fights, he wins life. When the engines go quiet, he retreats to a real estate empire built on contrast. His $1.2 million Tuscaloosa mansion sits quietly along the lake with private docks stretching into silence. On the West Coast, he steps into a sleek $1.78 million modern estate in Glendora, California, featuring panoramic valley views. Beyond these, Wilder has expanded his portfolio with rental properties and land, turning boxing purses into a permanent legacy. This life of excess extends to his person. Wilder is rarely seen without his signature bomb squad, jewelry, custom diamond-encrusted chains, and watches carrying six-figure price tags. He has also been known to spend upwards of $40,000 on high-tech walkout costumes, viewing the ring walk as a high-stakes fashion show. Inside the ring, he's chaos. Outside of it, everything is curated, but even a king faces storms. Wilder's path has been marked by high-profile turbulence, most notably his messy split with trainer Mark Breland. Following the Fury loss, Wilder threw accusations of sabotage and spiked water, a move that split the boxing world and added dark drama to his persona. His controversies, like the infamous 40-pound costume excuse, have kept him in the headlines as one of the sport's most polarizing figures. Yet, for every headline about drama, there's one about devotion. Wilder has channeled his fame into massive philanthropic efforts, largely through the Boxing Wags Association. From his tireless advocacy for spina bifida awareness to community wellness programs, Wilder uses his platform to fight for those who can't fight for themselves. To secure this lifestyle, Wilder has transitioned into a local mogul in Tuscaloosa. He's invested heavily in a luxury hotel and spa project and owns an upscale steakhouse, notable for the bronze statue of himself that stands guard at the entrance. These ventures, combined with his bomb squad fashion line, ensure his $30 million net worth remains ironclad. Behind the flamboyant bomb squad mask lies Deontay's true identity, a father of 8. While the world sees a knockout artist, Deontay views fatherhood as his most important title. His personal life has been layered, from his first marriage to Jessica Scales Wilder to his current life with his fiancée, Telly Swift. These 8 children are the fuel for the fire. He is frequently seen trading boxing gloves for birthday balloons, emphasizing that his proudest achievements aren't the WBC belts, but the future of his kids. As of April 2026, Wilder stands at a critical crossroads. Tonight, he faces Derek Chisora, the battle-hardened veteran known for dragging opponents into deep water, in what could be the defining fight of his career. His net worth sits stable, protected by a wall of real estate and hospitality, but the fire for competition hasn't been extinguished. Tonight's fight is the ultimate litmus test. If that right hand finds its home, the road back to a world title opens up. If it doesn't, we may be witnessing the final sunset of an electrifying figure. Tonight, the bomber isn't just fighting for a purse. He's fighting to prove the most dangerous weapon in boxing history still has one last war left in the magazine. Ultimately, Deontay Wilder is a reminder that you only need one shot, if you're brave enough to take it. With 44 wins and 43 knockouts, he mastered the art of the explosive exit. In the end, the man who couldn't afford to fail never truly did. Because when Deontay Wilder lands, nothing else matters. And all he's ever needed is one. Was he a complete fighter, or simply the most dangerous right hand to ever grace the sport? Because in boxing, you can master every skill in the world, but all it takes is one man like Wilder to make it all meaningless. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the $30 million empire of Deontay Wilder, hit that like button and subscribe. Does he stop Chisora tonight? Or is the era of the bomber over? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Before you go, check the link in the description to become a channel member for early access. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.